guys, welcome back to Glossandsparkle. So it's a pretty casual day today. I am like still in my PJ top and I just wanted it to be a super casual video. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I have been doing lately that you have no doubt seen. If you watch any of my decluttering videos, you know that I have just been obsessed with decluttering. And it's just so much fun. I've just felt so happy doing it because it literally feels like such a weight off. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is the matter of decluttering. Now, I am what my husband likes to call a closet hoarder, as in you don't see my hoarding. I'll like hoard in a drawer or in a closet, somewhere where you can't see it happening, because I feel super sentimental about certain things. Like if someone gave it to me, or I remember the day that I got it, I remember, you know, how I felt that day, was a good day. Like I don't know, any little reason can make me want to keep something. And it's really a bad habit to have. Obviously, if you have certain attachments and it was a really special gift or something, then you're going to want to keep it. But if it's literally just junk, then get rid of it. It's just not necessary at all. And I was keeping some of those things. So lately, I have been watching decluttering videos and they have just given me so much motivation. So that's why I decided to make one myself. And often I will put on a decluttering video like this one, where they just talk about how and why and the reasons why they declutter. And I'll just leave it on as I declutter so I can hear it and stay motivated to keep on doing it. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of inspiration as well. So I have been decluttering everything lately. I decluttered my makeup, I decluttered my jewelry, I even decluttered like underneath my bathroom sink, which to my surprise was super cluttered with things that I mean like peroxide from like 4 years ago. No, it's expired, get rid of it, it's gross. And, you know, things like that, you know, witch hazel or antibiotic cream, you know, it just, you don't need it. And I did keep, you know, the necessities, the things that you might actually use / need, your toothbrush, your toothpaste, things like that, obviously. But just having it just cleaned out is just such a good thing. So here's a few of the things that I was keeping that were just ridiculous. I had bags and bags of ballpoint pens, and I would say 85 to 90% of them didn't even work. I had to go through them and actually write and see if they worked, and most of them didn't work. So why was I keeping empty pen cases, empty pen shells that don't even work? Like what? What is something else ridiculous that I was keeping? Oh, I was keeping like stockings that had like runs in them. Like why? I'm never gonna wear them. It was ridiculous. What else was I keeping? Like bobby pins that were totally unusable. They were like bent a certain way from me trying to shove it up into my hair. No, those are unusable. And then there were some things like that I was keeping, and I know I was keeping them out of sentiment. Like I had 1 or 2 perfumes that my grandpa had given me, and my grandpa has passed away, and I was keeping them because he gave them to me. And although they were very special to me, they were like brown now because it's been so long. I mean, he probably gave them to me 15 years ago. And I love it so much, but I have so many other things that he's given me that I don't need to keep the yucky perfume that was going brown and gross, like the little bottles of Avon perfume. I did get rid of those, and I have some other sentimental things that he's given me, as well as my grandmother. I just picked out the most special things that they gave me, and those are the things that I kept. And I feel good about it because, you know, those other things were just like, but I have some really special things from them, and I'm happy with those. So my husband is the kind of person that if it's not seen, if the mess, you can't see it, then he's totally fine with it, which for a long time with me, that was a good thing. Like I love things to be clean, and I don't like to ever see a mess. I've always been that way, but when it's inside the drawer, I was like, okay with it for a long time. Well, recently, the last few years, I don't know if I've just grown up or what, but I would look at my jewelry drawer, for example, and I knew that it was a cluttery mess in there, and just knowing it was in there would like give me a little bit of guilt and a little bit of stress, and so I wouldn't go in there. But even though I wasn't going in the drawer, I knew that mess was like in there. And so every time I even looked at the drawer, which is in my room, in my dresser, I looked at it every single day, I would get that icky feeling and I was like, ugh. So I finally decided to clean it out, and I don't know if I will have that video up before or after this one, probably before, so you may have already seen it. But that was the kind of feelings that I was getting from having that in that situation in my room, and I just hated it. And so now that it's cleaned out, I am so much happier. I tell you, I will admit to you that I am a clothes hoarder. I love clothes, I love fashion, I always have, and like when I was a teenager, I was sort of irresponsible in a way with my money. Even though I've always been pretty frugal and made good use of it, I was sort of irresponsible in that I would get my paycheck on Friday and head straight to the mall, and I would literally spend, not all of it, but quite a bit of it on clothing. And when I got married 10 years ago, we were moving into a much smaller space, and I always had a walk-in closet as a teenager, and so I would just fill the whole thing up. And it was all mine, but now I had to like share a closet, you know, and actually let him have some space too, and it was like, so I actually did get rid of 6 large garbage bags of clothing, which I know is absolutely ridiculous. People should not have that many clothes, I mean, unless you have the room for it, which I absolutely did not. So that's when I did my first declutter, and that was like a decade ago. So as time has progressed, I have slowly started getting into that trend again where I'm like, oh, this is cute, this is cute, this is cute. And I'm not spending a lot of money on this stuff, but a couple bucks here and there, like a $3 skirt here, $10 this, there, you know, it does add up. So I did accumulate a lot, and I have been cleaning it out. In fact, I know this sounds really weird maybe to some people. Every time I go in my closet, I have forced myself to pick at least a few things that I don't use, that I don't want anymore. And I did that last night because I went up into my closet to put something away, and I was like, okay, find something that you just don't want in there anymore. And every time and trust me, it's not like I don't have any clothes left. It really isn't. I found 12 skirts that I didn't want. 12. So I was like, it gets all piled up, you know, and I just don't like that, and I hate clothes around, and I literally can't stand for my room to be messy. So just having less is helpful, and it just makes you feel such a weight off. I literally find it so much easier to clean, even like little knickknacks. I was never the kind of person who likes a lot of little knickknacks, but I've gotten a few things here and there, little candle holders and things, but I think my style has a lot to do with it too. I like modern, sleek lines. I just like that clean look, and I have been getting into obviously these decluttering methods, and a lot of people are doing the KonMari method and, you know, the whole minimalism thing. I would not say that I have fully subscribed to any of those views, but I do think that they have a lot of good helpful tips on how to declutter. And yeah, so when I declutter, I do try to ask myself that question that KonMari came up with, to ask yourself, does it spark joy? Because I think it's a good question to ask yourself. Am I happy with this item? Do I like it? Do I see it and I'm like, oh, I love that skirt? Or am I just like, I found in asking myself that question that I have a ton of stuff that I'm just like, and very few items that I'm like, yes, I love this dress. I mean, I have some, but they're not very many. And so I came to realize that I was having a closet full of things that was just like, eh. And so getting rid of them has just made my closet look so much cleaner and nicer and more put together. My husband kind of gets mad. He's like, stop getting so excited to clean. It makes me not want to do it. And I'm like, well, I'm not excited to clean. I don't enjoy cleaning. I just enjoy the after effects that you get to have after you're done, you get to sit in your room and it's just beautiful and, you know, stuff like that. I like that. So recently I have felt a lot of stress. I'm genuinely, ever since I was a little baby, I've been kind of keyed up in general. Like, I don't know, just kind of like, not in a bad way, but like I'm just like a busy little, I don't know, excitable, maybe I would call it. Excitable? My husband calls it feisty, but I don't know. And so recently I have felt a good amount of stress and I don't like it. I feel like it's super negative, and so I've been trying a bunch of different things to try to minimize my stress, and one of the things that has helped so much is the decluttering and the after effects of the decluttering. So I've just really been enjoying it. I think it's been so good for me to get rid of things, and it just, I don't know, I'm so much happier with it. And if you feel like you look around and you're like, oh, what is all this stuff doing here, and it feels overwhelming, it's totally fine. You can declutter. Just take a small section at a time. I know the KonMari method is like, get out everything you own and throw it on the floor, and to me that's kind of like making a bigger mess, and then if you don't have the motivation to get it done, you're stuck with a huge mess. And so I really personally wouldn't do that. I would probably choose one category that way in smaller versions, and it helps. And if you just keep going, you can do it, and it feels so good after. So I just thought I wanted to talk about that today. And I don't know, I'm not like a full minimalist, I'm not a KonMari subscriber per se, but I definitely love decluttering and organizing and the after effects of all of it. So I hope this helps you out. I'm trying to think of any other information that I could tell you about decluttering that I really loved. Oh, I decluttered underneath the bed, and I keep a lot of stuff under there. Like I have my yarn and my craft stuff and my beads. I like to do beads. That's another thing. If you are a crafter or a hobbyist of any kind, that can really add up, like the stuff. I was doing scrapbooking, which kind of was a fail. I don't know. I bought all the scrapbooking stuff when I got married because I was convinced I was going to do scrapbooking, which I'm not real good at, I'll admit. But the items that you can buy for it will take up your life. And so I really had to go through a lot of those things and decide which things I was actually going to use and which I really wasn't. What else is under my bed? Oh, my keyboard. I do use my keyboard, so I did keep it. Like my piano keyboard, because I do like to play the piano. Also, I was couponing a while back. A few years ago I was super duper couponing, and I was like the coupon queen, and I was stockpiling is what they call it, where you get a bunch of products, you know, either free or very inexpensively, and stockpile them to have them for future use. And I am sort of trying to use those products up because they are gonna get old and expired, and I want to make sure that I use them. In fact, our family has not purchased toothpaste in, I want to say like 4 years, because that's how much toothpaste I piled up. It actually was helpful, and we haven't purchased shampoo and conditioner in maybe like a year, which is good. Those things are necessities, and I do feel like if I had the opportunity, I don't coupon anymore, but if I did have the opportunity, I might do it for those necessity things. But I mean, I was doing it with hairspray. How often do I go through hairspray? Like once a bottle a year maybe. So I was doing it with things that I really don't use, and so I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I threw away a lot of the products that I just didn't use. I have floss for days. I have probably 50 things of floss, and I just don't even know what I'm going to do with it, because honestly, I don't know. I'm still deciding if I want to keep it or just keep some. I'm just trying to be more reasonable with things, and yeah, I found it really helpful. So I usually do just like casual talking videos with you guys, but yeah, I just thought it was really helpful. Oh, and I want to do a shoe declutter. I don't think that I'm gonna do just like one big shoe declutter, because I don't know. I'm not really sure yet. I think it might be helpful to do just like heels first and then flats. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm going to be going through that, and I have a shoe problem. When I was a teenager, I would be constantly buying shoes, and my dad used to be like, I really feel like I should institute a one in, one out method with you. Like you buy one pair, you get rid of one. Because he's like, you're getting so many shoes. And I'm like, I know. But it's been a good thing to do. Except I don't think at the time I was in the right mindset to do that. I was just a teenager buying shoes that she liked. So I'm not sure how well that would have worked, but now it's definitely something that I want to start being more reasonable about my shoes. And I have a lot of heels because I actually have really high arches in my feet, and if I wear flats or like a low heel is horrid for me. I will be in so much pain by the end of the day that I like can barely walk. And this is something I have talked to my chiropractor about too. I feel the best when I'm wearing a very high heel, and it's just super comfortable to me, and I have a few pairs that are just really nice that, why am I talking about this? That are like, I feel like I can run a marathon in them. They're just that comfortable. Anyway, that was neither here nor there. But anyway, that is my discussion on decluttering. If you have any questions about how I declutter, I mean, you might be able, I'll try to answer them below. Otherwise, you can check out some of my decluttering videos. I have lipstick declutters, makeup declutters, eyeshadow declutters, jewelry will be up. So yeah, check those out if you want to see how I go about doing that. But as always, I hope it gave you a little bit of motivation if you are looking to try to declutter your life a little bit and get a little bit more organized and live a little simpler. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Glossandsparkle. Bye.